Hello everybody, welcome to Monday's MCN. Now I was going to make this the same way I do a lot of them, but to be honest, after a lot of the weekend, there's just been tons of stuff. I mean, look, if you've been following the channel, you'll know that even by the time I'm recording now, which is on Sunday, Legends event, we've had the massive, we've had the side quest information, we had the massive roadmap stuff, all the breakdowns of things like narrative roadmap, we've got Legends event stuff, the Ascension was kind of revealed, Glory Store, Incursions things. You name it, there's so much that went down over the weekend. And look, there's content on the channel, go and check it out, especially as we've got to get into this week. And there's not a huge amount of things that came out of last week when it comes to bugs, problems, or things that we've got to shout about. But there are a few odds and ends to mention. I mean, one of the first things is that it's going to be a change to the AQ Map 8 bosses. So this was effective on Friday, which I think, was that for the final day of AQ, but it's done now, so it's going to be coming into the new AQ cycle. In that, effective Friday, August 4th, we are lowering the attack boost of both Alliance Quest final bosses on Map 8 by 100%. Kabam looking in the future to add Map 9 in? Don't know. It kind of feels like it's possible, especially because I think Map 8 was put in the game November 2022. So is it likely we're going into a Map 9 prep with stuff being lowered down, encouraging more players to go and do that particular map? I don't know, that could be the case. Champions affected: Scorpion Toad, previous tuning, 500% champion boost, 300% health. New tuning is 400,000, that'd be awful. 400% champion boost, 400% health. Reminder, a champion boost equals attack and health. These changes mean that the health pool remain the same and the reduction only impacts attack. So I guess not, and maybe it doesn't feel like it. Also, coming out of the back of the live stream on Friday, which if you didn't see, it will be at some point out on YouTube. But do bear in mind, we've covered it on the channel. Like, most of the content for the last couple of days has been about it. So there's lists, there's information. Kabam did put out, I think it was like a full list of stuff that they did touch upon. There's a summary by Akbar. There's some stuff that's missed off from the official, because Kabam did do official kind of newsy type thing, and then they also did a write-up themselves. The write-up looks a little bit like this if it loads. I will put a link to it in the description down below, but to be honest, we've covered a lot more on the channel that was actually said, because there's little kind of things mentioned by certain individuals at Kabam, like the trophy token thing, trophy champion thing was not mentioned on any of this stuff, and was going to mention by Kabam. On some write-ups, nobody mentioned they teased that they'd be doing arena rewards, the redevelopment of it, which was just a throwaway comment by one of the people on the show. Go back, that I forgot to edit it in properly. I thought I did, but it was kind of a silent bit. I had to up the volume, and instead I cut it because I thought that I wasn't speaking. Annoying when it happens, but if you look at the live stream, they say it. I did mention it in a future video, but sometimes people don't watch all the content. But you should do. We're kind of covering stuff that's important about this game that we love and are passionate about. And yeah, nothing kind of extra came of what dropped. So yeah, go and I don't know, read stuff if you don't. It's up to you. It's your life. Now I just want to move on to some player conduct things. So one of the biggest things that I've seen over the weekend or since the live stream was a bit of player conduct stuff. When I talk of player conduct, I just mean just don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. You don't have to be a dick. So unless your name's Richard, which I am, so I can be a dick. But I'm not a dick. I am, but I'm not. If you get my meaning. So yeah, just don't be an asshole, really. I thought that's the only thing I should have really said. Don't be an asshole, okay? So there were people that were just being difficult in the live stream last night, and also some people being difficult on global chat. By the way, please mute global chat. If you're new to the game, if you watch my channel, you are smart enough to mute global chat. You are that smart to mute global chat. So first of all, the kind of part one to this is Command Mike did say on, I think it was Friday, saying that, by the way, if you're joining the Twitch chat just to be negative and not give a single piece of actual constructive feedback, we will mute you. Do bear in mind, this is the thing, everyone's got free speech. Having free speech is amazing, by the way, having the right to kind of to free to speak your mind. Unfortunately, people really do abuse that right a lot. Look, and on Friday's live stream, Kabam Mike did say that this includes those who think they can get away with swearing in Hindi. If the people that do speak Hindi as part of the community, have a word with each other, you know, have a word. You know, when I say have a word, speak to each other. Say, why are you doing it? Like, what is it going to gain? Gains nothing. Those were muted, by the way. Anybody that was doing that were muted throughout the stream. I didn't see it, but they were muted. So if they were muted, it means you're speaking to nobody. Quite funny, if you're watching this video and you did post something that was swearing in Hindi in that particular stream, it's funny when you're typing to nobody. That's funny. That's funny. Just like talk to nobody, because no one can hear you scream, or you know, in this case, you know, the chat. The kind of like other side to this is like there has been. I'm not. Do you know what? I'm not gonna bother to show it. I'm not gonna bother to show it because it's not. It's not good. There was some really bad stuff that, and we know this. Look, I'm preaching to the choir. A lot of you do have muted global chat because there's no point. There's no point to have it open because people will say controversial things for the sake of it. I think some people get like this kind of rise of like it's funny to be edgy, like being edgy funny and edgy comedy was probably early 2000s. It's like it's not new comedy anymore. It's actually quite boring. It's cringy actually to kind of like, you know, peddle something that's 20 plus years old. It's just not funny. It may be funny in different cultures, but I thought, you know, as cultures in different countries, we've evolved, we've moved forward. Evidently not. But Kabam Jack said in kind of response to this, and I'm not gonna like show what was said because it was pretty bad, pretty offensive actually. Thanks for pointing this out. It's not something we'll have time to manually dive into every single time it pops up in the forums because people are horrible en masse. Who knew? But I had a moment to look a little further at the specific case. I agree that turn off global isn't the perfect solution, but it's a problem of free will, I suppose. There will always be someone trying to stir up nonsense. We have many sensors in place, but it's really difficult to predict all the things people want to be awful. Here's to hoping it's just a dumb kid being an edgelord. Yeah, I said like I thought edgy comedy had kind of like, you know, died out 20 plus years ago. I thought there's more like, you know, yeah, in any case, well, there's no point going into it. If you see something offensive in a global chat, do report the person. But to be honest, you save yourself a lot of bother and just get that kind of like idea kind of whoosh away from me, because Kabam can't put in something like a good censoring system. So if Kabam aren't able to solve the problem in this, just mute global chat. So you don't get offended by anything you see, get annoyed by anything you see. But then the main thing is get bored by anything you see in global chat, because that's the thing. You're gonna get bored by half the stuff that's posted in there. I was thinking about doing a funny video on it, but I just thought, nah, I'd rather not. I'd rather save my time and kind of focus on something else. But in any case, moving on. We end the show just before we do arena results and predictions with this bit of coverage about someone getting banned. It's a bit of a weird one, so we'll have to kind of like go into it. So basically they got banned for using emulator, but the story takes a weird kind of twist and turn. So first of all, they say, I wanted to buy the triple pass very much, but in Germany there's no discount for buying the triple pass compared with a single purchase. On the contrary, it would be even cheaper to buy the month separately. This again contradicts Kabam's announcement, which clearly states that there will be a discount when buying the triple pass. Though through posts here in the forum, I learned that this is due to iOS, because via Android there is the discount. So Kabam has not managed to create a level playing field again. Well, sometimes it's not up to Kabam when it comes to these things. And I would say, if you wanted to buy the triple pass very much, don't buy the triple pass. Don't buy it. Like, nobody is forcing you to buy anything in Marvel Contest of Champions. It is down to personal preference, of course. Nothing against anybody who spends in MCOC. I don't. Other people do. That's fine. The game needs to be financially supported. But look, it would be nice in a perfect world that everybody gets allocations of discount if you're a spender in the game. But that's not the case. iOS and Android have very specific taxing on stuff. Maybe there's a reason that Kabam did it. Not defending Kabam on this one, but we've seen it in the past where Kabam have said, look, they are stipulated because of the way that they're taxed. It's the reason that, like in iOS, if you go to your iOS App Store, I mean, for me, I don't spend, but mine is Odin, $200. That's ridiculous because they used to be $99. So there's a reason for that. But on the web store, if you go to the web store, right, it's $99. So what's happened there? And that is again down to the fact that Kabam may have been stipulated how much tax they are added onto their particular thing they're adding in game, and the cost of what it is. Like that's the thing. It could be. So I don't know, but that is what Kabam wouldn't have a web store that's cheaper than it is in game, for no good reason. There must be a reason to it. In any case, moving on, they say, so what did I do? I don't have access to an Android device, unfortunately, so I downloaded an Android emulator for the PC. However, I didn't know that this violates the terms of service. Yes, I know. Ignorance is no excuse. And then, it's horrible. Everything takes forever with stuff. Restrictions in my country. Used the emulator to buy a triple pass. Nothing more. Honestly, has anyone ever used such an emulator? It's horrible. Everything takes forever. It does. It's rubbish. I'm being punished for voluntarily giving Kabam money. Then don't give Kabam money then. For buying and offering what they can offer everyone equally, or maybe even want to. Again, I'm sure that a lot of developers have had problems with like the stipulations of Google Play versus iOS. This is why, funnily enough, I've done some sponsored content for some games that will only put stuff out on Google Play for certain reasons. So I don't know. Even they advertise it in a way for everyone in game. Of course they do, because they wouldn't. I don't think they've done specific things in the past. Well, I actually know they have done specific things in the past, like Android specific stuff. Maybe they could have done. What's me extremely upset about this is that Kabam manages to immediately enforce suspension it, even though they can clearly see that only a purchase has been processed here, but they don't manage to fix the actual problems in game. We're deflecting on this. Where offensive third-party software is used, though, which a lot of the time people will use those kind of. I'm not going to go into too much on this one. Which all other players are disadvantaged and damaged, such as bots in the arena or cheaters in battlegrounds. I have already submitted a ticket to support, but here you are, only standardizing answers and lifting suspension is not possible. I'd say take your lumps. Sorry, but why should I not should it not be possible to lift something if you find that it's not justified? That would be fatal, because mistakes can always happen, and it should be possible to correct them. Look, it's a case. There's an element of deflection with this. I understand where this player is coming from, but the problem is it's a lot of deflection as to going through it. Look, if spending's a problem, don't spend. That's I think the easiest thing to hear. It's just going to cover here. Like, if I wanted to spend, it'd be a problem, because the cost is same thing with this particular player, because the regions, like you look at India, like you guys are like the pricing for a lot of kind of like mobile apps, gaming in general, does not reflect a fair pricing scheme for the country. The same thing for multiple different countries. And that is why, rules are stricter, and it is problematic, and it's annoying, because a lot of players, I can imagine, from different places of the world would like to spend. If for whatever reason, some of these countries where spending £99, $99, whatever, is a lot of money, and they reduce down the cost to be like, okay, well, it's an Odin then turns to be the equivalent of $30, I'm sure that a lot of players would go, that's interesting, I might actually kind of get something like that. But then the people in the likes of, America, China, anywhere would kind of go, well, why is it cheaper for them, but it's not cheaper for me? It's still, and it will always be a problem, regardless of anything. And I would say the best thing to do with this one is, if you're getting hook, lined, and sinkered, and Kabam are reeling you in like a £10 bass, then don't spend. If there's if things about the game that irk you and problematic, which is, don't spend, because you're like, right, if I spend money, does it mean it's going to sort these problems out that you're kind of deflecting the blame onto why Kabam can't kind of look at your situation fairly? Then look, that's a good enough reason to say, well, why should I give you my money? Right, we'll just end the show on this, the arena results, which quite simply, there's something amiss here, something weird. I think a lot of people grinded incredibly hard for some of, Kindred. Like, it's Kindred. So we don't know anything with that, man, so I'm not going to go over that too much. But the Kindred one, yeah, 39 mil, 1% to 5%. good, that's fine. It's just when you get into the 6-star like territory, we're talking like 156 mil for 399, 155 mil for 400 mil. It's just a bit ridiculous. I hope Kabam going to investigate just to kind of see whether or not everyone was playing legit and there was no kind of like arena botters or anything like that. But yeah, predictions for round 2. Sadly, 160 mil for 6-star Kindred. 35 mil for the 5-star version, 21 mil for 6-star Ant-Man, 10 mil for the 5-star version. I don't really know with arenas now. Getting a little bit concerned with grind habits with it. And as well, you know, we've got to see whether or not there's any cheaters. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Kabam need to have a look. In any case, that's been the show. Thanks very much for watching. Check out some other content located on screen. And I'll see you all later on for some more videos. Got a couple more planned. So see you then. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.